Ravens fan, the worst news we could receive has arrived. Zay Flowers, our top wide receiver, left the field injured in the last game against the Browns. What seemed like another easy game to secure the division lead turned into a nightmare. And now, with the playoffs knocking on the door, this injury could completely change the course of the season. Does the team have the strength to overcome this blow? Stay with me until the end, because I'll tell you how this situation impacts the Ravens and what might happen next. Go Ravens! In the final regular season game against the Browns, Zay Flowers had a moment no one wanted to see. In the second quarter, right after a 12-yard reception, he fell on the field holding his knee. To make matters worse, he limped off visibly and needed to be escorted to the locker room by team doctors. The Ravens reported that he was questionable to return, but the image of the player leaving the field already gave fans that feeling that something more serious might be going on. At such an important time in the season, this is exactly what the team didn't need. Zay Flowers is not just any player. He is the heart of the Ravens' passing game. With his ability to create big plays and explosive speed, he has been one of the standout performers this season. Additionally, he made history by becoming the franchise's first wide receiver to be selected to the Pro Bowl. Every play he makes is a chance to change the game, and his absence, even temporarily, is a tough blow to the team. If this injury turns out to be more serious, the Ravens may have to face the playoffs without their top weapon in the passing attack. What makes it even more concerning is the timing of this injury. The game against the Browns is not just any game. It's the crucial moment to secure the AFC North lead, and losing Flowers in the middle of this battle puts even more pressure on it. Without him on the field, the team loses not only its primary receiving option, but also the entire dynamic he brings to the offense, forcing head coach John Harbaugh, an offensive coordinator, to find new solutions in record time. All of this adds to the pressure of an already massive. Now, what's even more worrying is the lack of depth in the Ravens' wide receiver. Even with players like Rashad Bateman and Nelson Agholor, Flowers' absence leaves a tough gap to fill. This brings to light an ongoing issue the team has faced: the reliance on one or two names in the passing. With this situation becoming clearer, Bateman's role and the limitations of the receiver group are now at the forefront, showing how the lack of options could make the Ravens season even more complicated. With Zay Flowers out, even if temporarily, the spotlight immediately falls on Rashad Bateman. He has been an important piece of the Ravens offense, especially this season, with 40 receptions, 681 yards, and an incredible 8 touchdowns. In the same game against the Browns, he even caused concern when he left the field after a hit, but returned shortly after and showed he's ready to take on more responsibility. Now, he needs to step up as the main target, carrying the weight of the passing game in this crucial moment. Bateman has the skills to be the next big name for the Ravens, the ability to create separation from defenders and reliable hands for catches. However, this transition from a secondary role to offensive leadership won't be easy. Without Flowers to divert the defense's attention, he will face more intense coverage and needs to be even more efficient. These are the moments when players show what they are truly made of, and Bateman now has a unique opportunity to prove he can be the reliable option when the team needs him the most. The challenge for Bateman is even greater considering the Ravens' current situation. The AFC North lead is on the line, and the team can't afford to slip up. His performance may be the difference between an offense that works and one that struggles to produce. The running game, led by J.K. Dobbins, will continue to be essential, but the team also needs the passing attack to remain effective. This means Bateman not only has to fill in for Flowers, but also elevate his game at a time when there is little room for error. If Bateman can rise to the occasion, he could not only help the team get through this tough moment, but also solidify his name as one of the top wide receivers. However, the lack of depth in the Ravens' receiving core could make this task even harder. This is where Nelson Agholor and the other receivers come into play, and their situation needs to be closely watched. Zay Flowers' injury exposes a problem the Ravens have been facing for years: the lack of depth in the wide receiver. After Bateman, the next option in terms of production is Nelson Agholor, with just 14 receptions and 231 yards this season. That would already be concerning on its own, but Agholor has also missed the last 3 games due to a concussion, raising questions about his availability game rhythm. For a team aiming to be competitive in the playoffs, relying on such a limited group is a huge risk. When healthy, Nelson Agholor has shown he can contribute, but his recent absence leaves an even bigger hole in the offense. He's an experienced player capable of making big plays in crucial moments, but his inconsistency throughout the season raises doubts. If he's available for the upcoming games, his experience will be crucial, especially to take some pressure off Bateman. Still, Relying solely on Aguilar and Bateman doesn't seem like enough to keep the passing attack functioning at a high level. Furthermore, the rest of the receiver group offers little in terms of production. Younger or less experienced players haven't shown they can contribute significantly. This means the Ravens' offense may be forced to rely even more on the running, which is a limited solution when trailing on the scoreboard. The lack of options in the passing game not only hurts offensive performance, but also makes it easier for opposing defenses to focus on stopping the run. With the playoffs approaching, the Ravens urgently need to rethink how to utilize what they have available passing. Flowers' absence makes the situation even more challenging, and the team will need to find creative solutions to fill this gap. In this scenario, the pressure is also on Lamar Jackson, who will need to elevate his play and lead the team in such a delicate moment. Well, we're past the halfway point of our video, but I noticed you haven't left your like yet. It's really important so YouTube continues recommending my content to you. And that way I'll keep bringing the latest news for you. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. Thanks. Now let's continue. Lamar Jackson is no stranger to carrying the Ravens through tough situations, but the injury to Zay Flowers places even more responsibility on his shoulders. Without his top receiver, he will need to find ways to keep the offense functioning, whether by distributing passes with precision or exploiting his ability to run the ball. Lamar has always been a star, but now he needs to be the player who elevates the entire team, even when circumstances are unfavorable. Lamar's connection with Zay Flowers was one of the main reasons for the success of the passing attack this season, and losing that means he will have to adjust his playing style. This includes relying more on bait, involving Aguilar if he's available, and perhaps even giving opportunities to less experienced players. Additionally, his impact on the running game will become even more crucial, as opposing defenses are likely to focus on stopping the run, especially with Flowers absent. Lamar will have to be unpredictable to overcome these challenges. In tough moments, great players shine, and Lamar has the chance to show once again why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He has already proven he can lead the Ravens to important victories, but now the challenge is even greater. In addition to dealing with the pressure of a depleted offense, he must stay focused on securing the division lead. Every decision he makes on the field could be the difference between a win and a loss in close playoff games. Even with all these challenges, Lamar can't do it all alone. For the Ravens to remain competitive, he needs support from both the receiving core and the running game. The defense's ability to keep the team in the game will also be crucial, especially when the offense is trying to find solutions to these limitations. If there's one side of the ball the Ravens can rely on right now, it's the defense. With a solid season so far, the defensive unit has been a fortress for the team. In their game against the Browns, they already demonstrated their ability to neutralize the opposing offense and maintain the lead on the scoreboard. With Zay Flowers' injury, the pressure on the defense increases even more, as they will need to hold off the opponents to give the offense a chance to find solutions without their main. The Ravens' defense has the talent and depth to face the best offenses in the league, but that doesn't mean the mission will be easy. Players like Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, and Kyle Hamilton will need to continue playing at a high level, ensuring the team maintains control of the game. Additionally, their ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks will be key to minimizing the chances of big plays, especially when the Ravens' offense is adjusting to the new circus. Another important factor is the role of turnovers. A defense that can force mistakes from opponents can change the course of any game, especially in critical playoffs. For the Ravens, every interception or recovered fumble could be the difference between maintaining the AFC North lead and having to fight in the wild-card games. The defense not only needs to be solid, but also decisive in key moments. With the playoffs approaching, the balance between offense and defense will be essential for the Ravens. The defense can keep the team competitive, but the offense will need to adjust quickly to not waste the opportunities that arise. The question now is whether the Ravens can overcome these challenges and keep the hope of winning the title alive this season. Zay Flowers' injury is a tough blow for the Ravens, especially at such a decisive moment in the season. Now, the team needs to reinvent itself, rely on players like Bateman and Aguilar, and lean even more on Lamar Jackson's talent and the defense's solidity. The question remains, do you believe the Ravens can overcome this loss and keep the Super Bowl dream alive? Share your opinion in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any updates about the Ravens.